Peter Francisco, who was 6 feet 8 inches tall and weighed some 260 pounds, has come down to history with the title the Virginia Giant. His deeds during the Revolutionary War became the stuff of myth and legend. Some of the stories may actually contain an element of truth, others, if not true, ought to be, in the words of the heroic storytellers of the Revolution. The stories of the giant's deeds were so popular by the 1820s that the early Revolutionary War historian Alexander Garden wrote that he scarcely ever met a man in Virginia who had not some miraculous tale to tell of Peter Francisco. Pedro, later called Peter Francisco, arrived at the dock in City Point aged 5 and was unable to speak English. It is believed that he had been kidnapped from his Portuguese parents in the Azores. He was taken in and raised by the family of Judge Anthony Winston. In 1776, at the age of 16, Francisco enlisted in the Virginia line. He fought in Pennsylvania at the Battle of Germantown and in New Jersey at the Battle of Monmouth. Francisco was part of an attack on the British fort of Stony Point in New York, where supposedly, even after receiving a 9-inch wound to the stomach, he continued to fight, killing 12 British grenadiers and capturing the enemy's flag. One of his most well-known feats occurred in South Carolina after the Battle of Camden. Seeing an American cannon mired in mud and about to be abandoned, he freed the 1,000-pound cannon and carried it on his shoulders to keep it from falling into the hands of the enemy. He fought at Guilford Courthouse in North Carolina. A monument at Guilford Courthouse National Military Park commemorates Francisco's efforts, to Peter Francisco, a giant in stature, might, and courage, who slew in this engagement 11 of the enemy with his own broadsword, rendering himself thereby perhaps the most famous private soldier of the Revolutionary War. The story of Francisco's fight relates how the legendary giant, although unarmed, overpowered 9 British dragoons who were trying to rob him of the silver buckles on his shoes. He supposedly killed 3 dragoons and made off with 8 horses.